Ever get that feeling like you're being played? Someone's got you dancing to their tune and you don't even know how they did it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
how did I end up agreeing to this? Well, today is all about handing you that backstage pass, right?
Absolutely.
To manipulation.
Yeah. We're diving deep into the psychology of influence, looking into how it works, why it's so effective. And to do that, we've got a stack of books, 6 in total.
6 books. That's intense.
Covering dark psychology, we've got some NLP in there,
Okay.
all about manipulation tactics.
So it's like we're giving our listeners...
Like a crash course.
Yeah, crash course.
In recognizing manipulation when someone's pulling the string.
Exactly. So no more of that, well, wait, was I just manipulated? You'll have the actual tools to decode those situations.
And walk away feeling empowered.
Not played.
Exactly.
Okay, so how about we jump right into it? Because
Let's do it.
I'm already a little creeped out. Like, how does this work?
Yeah, well, one of the things is these tactics are so sneaky. They're so effective because they're tapping into just our natural wiring. You know,
Oh, really?
our natural human tendencies. Like, we want to please people.
Right.
We don't want to miss out. And we react to certain cues without even thinking about it.
So they've got like a secret playbook or something
It's like a cheat sheet.
of human behavior.
Yeah. And they know exactly which buttons to push.
Okay, so like what? What are some of these secret plays they're running?
So one that's really common is called pacing and dragging.
Pacing and dragging. Okay.
And it all comes down to using your own words against you. Yeah, using your own values to kind of gently steer you.
So they're like using my own words to make me do something.
Exactly. It's like if you're always complaining about how much you hate traffic.
I do hate traffic.
Right. And someone wants you to try this new restaurant that's kind of a trek.
Yeah.
They might say something like, I know you hate being stuck in traffic, so maybe we could try that new place on like a Sunday afternoon when the roads are clear.
Oh, sneaky.
Right.
They're using my hatred of traffic.
They're using it to frame it in a way that you already agree with.
Wow, so it makes it feel like my idea.
Exactly. You're already on board with the premise.
Wow, that is sneaky. It's like they're planting a seed in your mind without you even realizing it.
It's true. And that's kind of similar to another tactic, priming.
Priming. Okay.
Have you heard of this one?
I've heard of it, but I don't really know what it means.
So priming is all about creating these subtle associations
Okay.
that can influence your thoughts, your behaviors, without you even realizing it.
It's subconscious.
It's all subconscious, yeah. Like setting the stage for a certain outcome. Think about it like this. A company wants you to buy their expensive brand of coffee.
Okay.
They might prime you by filling their ads with, let's say, images of luxury cars,
Ooh, fancy.
exotic vacations, things that you associate with,
A certain lifestyle.
luxury.
Okay.
Right.
So they're linking their coffee with a lifestyle you aspire to,
Exactly.
even if you don't realize.
Even if you're not consciously thinking, oh, I need to buy this coffee to feel rich, those little associations are at work in the back of your mind.
It's crazy how much of our decision-making is like below the surface. We don't even realize it.
It's true, yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to unpack even more of these manipulative tactics. So don't go anywhere. It's almost like our bodies betray us, right?
It's true.
Like they give away the secrets our words are trying to hide.
Absolutely, yeah. Like those classic tells that everybody talks about when someone's lying, like the fidgeting, avoiding eye contact.
Right, right.
Now, a really skilled manipulator, they might be able to control some of that,
Okay.
but there are other more subtle things, little giveaways.
Okay, so like what? What are some of the things we should be looking for?
Well, you know that feeling you get when someone's smiling, but it doesn't quite reach their eyes?
Yeah, like it's not genuine.
Exactly. Or like their expression doesn't quite match what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Like you might see a fleeting look of annoyance,
Right.
but they're saying, oh, no, I'm fine, everything's fine.
So it's those little inconsistencies, those moments where their mask slips.
Exactly.
Okay, what about the way people talk?
Yeah.
Can that be a sign of manipulation too?
Oh, for sure.
Uh,
Our sources actually point out that a lot of times people who are lying, they use more hesitant language, a lot of ums and ahs.
Okay.
They might avoid using I,
Oh, interesting.
like they're distancing themselves.
It's like when I was a kid and I borrowed my brother's toy without asking.
Right.
It was all, that toy really shouldn't be left lying around.
Exactly. No I in sight.
Yeah, no, I took it. Nothing.
Exactly. And then there's that tactic we touched on a little bit earlier, the humble brag.
Oh, yeah, the humble brag. What is up with that?
Right. So it's disguised as self-deprecation,
Okay.
but it's really a way to like fish for compliments.
They're bragging without bragging.
Exactly. So like, Ugh, I'm such a klutz. I tripped and spilled my coffee all over that incredibly rare manuscript.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like, oh, poor me. I had this amazing opportunity.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so sneaky.
Right. It's like they want to have their cake and eat it too.
They want the attention, but they don't want to seem like they're bragging.
Totally.
Okay, so now we're getting good. We're spotting the puppet masters.
Right.
But knowing the tricks doesn't mean we're immune.
Unfortunately not. No, you're right. It's like even if you know how a magic trick works,
Yeah.
you can still be amazed by it.
Yeah.
Our brains are kind of hardwired to be receptive to certain types of influence.
Especially when they tap into our emotions.
Right.
Like the fear, the guilt, that desire to please other people.
It's so powerful, yeah.
It can be really, really hard to kind of fight back against that.
It's true. And that's why just knowing the tactics isn't enough.
Okay.
We need to have a plan. Like, what are we going to do about it?
So what can we do? Give us the tools.
So one of the simplest but most effective tools is just the power of no.
I mean, it sounds so simple,
Right.
but actually saying no, especially for people pleasers like me,
Yeah.
it's hard.
It's so hard. And we're conditioned from a young age, right, to avoid confrontation.
Right. Be polite. Don't want to rock the boat.
Exactly. Put other people's needs first. But setting boundaries is so important.
Okay, so how do we get better at saying no without feeling like a jerk?
I think it starts with recognizing that you have a right to say no.
Oh, okay.
Like you are not obligated to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable or pressured.
Yeah, that is a good reminder. We do have a choice.
We do.
We don't have to say yes.
Sometimes it's about asking questions or delaying a decision. Like, let me think about that.
Well, it's like that pause button, right?
Yes, exactly.
Like, just give me a second to breathe and think it through.
Exactly. Because
If we don't, we're just reacting.
you're reacting, yeah. And, if something feels off, trust that.
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut. Our intuition is usually right.
So it's like we have a built-in manipulation detector
You do?
that we're ignoring half the time.
They ignore, exactly.
So it's not always like, goodbye, I'm cutting you out. Sometimes it's about, understanding and setting boundaries, but with compassion.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Manipulation, it often comes from a place of insecurity,
Okay.
like some kind of unmet need,
Right.
right?
Right.
And that doesn't make it okay.
Right.
But understanding that why can really help us figure out how to respond.
So we can be firm, but also understanding.
Exactly.
Like there's that saying, hurt people, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to make excuses for manipulators or anything,
There's not.
but it's just sometimes realizing they might be struggling with something,
Yeah,
it gives you a different perspective on how to deal with it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that perspective, that can be really empowering because then it's not just you constantly feeling defensive.
Right. Right.
You can move forward with a sense of agency.
So I'm not just like reacting to whatever they're throwing at me. I can actually
You're making a conscious choice.
respond in a way that works for me and my values.
Exactly. Exactly. And that might mean you actually have a conversation with that person
Oh, okay.
about their behaviors, how it makes you feel.
Okay.
Or it could even mean you need a little bit of distance.
Right. For your own self-preservation.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, we're responsible for our own happiness.
We are.
And sometimes that means, even if it's hard, distancing yourself from someone.
Yeah, it's not easy, for sure.
Right.
But sometimes it's what you need. But, recognizing manipulation is not just about protecting yourself.
Right.
It's also about, building relationships that are actually healthy.
So this is about, improving our relationships.
Absolutely.
Not just being like, oh, I'm going to put on my armor.
Exactly, because when you know how influence can be used in a bad way, you're more likely to build relationships that are honest and respectful.
It's like we've been given this, X-ray vision.
Yeah.
And we can kind of see through those games.
Totally, and connect with people for real.
Yeah.
And, as you go out into the world, you start to notice this stuff. You'll see.
You can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it.
It's true.
But in this case, it's a good thing.
Right.
Because now you know.
Yeah.
You can make better choices about who you let in.
This has been, I'm telling you, eye-opening.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah. Who knew there were so many puppet masters out there?
Right. And we've just scratched the surface.
Oh, no.
There's always more to learn.
So what you're saying is our homework is to go out there.
Go out there, be a student of human nature, pay attention to how people interact.
Yeah.
Notice those little things.
The little cues.
The more you understand.
The more power we have.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I like it. So it's not about being paranoid.
No, not at all.
It's about being aware and using this knowledge.
To navigate the world with confidence.
Be your most authentic self.
Exactly.
And until next time,
Keep exploring.
yes, keep exploring the weird, wild world of human behavior.